I know what I'm going to title this video, and it's going to be, I am the worst YouTuber ever. That's the name of my video. And why am I that? Well, first of all, do I sound like I'm yelling? It's kind of sprinkling here, and my tires seem so loud. I feel like I got to yell when I talk to you, but then I'm probably going to sound angry. I'm not angry. I'm on my way home from Vermont. And I'll tell you about that in a second. See the back? It's pretty full. So I am the worst YouTuber ever because I do not do videos very often. I hate editing videos. My last Travel Time Chit Chat video, the very first comment was pretty much that they don't like this type of video. Why don't I show the garage sale? Because that time I was heading to garage sales and I was videotaping in between my stops. And they were like, you should just throw on a GoPro and show us what you're looking at. And I replied, and I'm like, I tried that. I hate editing videos. I hate it so much. It's not that it's like, that I hate the process of actually doing it. I don't mind that. But it takes so much time, and the whole time I'm editing a video, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I could be taking pictures and I could be listing on eBay, and I just feel like that produces more income when you're making, like, and I'm sure I'd make more money if I did more videos and edited more, but the amount of time that I put into it, right now I'm making like $2 a month on YouTube. And so that's $24 a year, and they don't pay you out till you hit it $100. So like every 3 years or so, I might get a check from YouTube. I just got one last year, and I don't even remember when the last time it was I got a $100 check. So it'll probably be another 3 years, which I'm okay with. I don't do this YouTube for making money. So I know that you can make money on YouTube. I mean, I watch Commonwealth Picker, Commonwealth Flipper. I like his Commonwealth Flipper because personally I like to watch when people sell stuff, because that to me is what people are buying. If somebody's going out buying something at a garage sale, it doesn't mean that item's going to end up selling. So I want to see what actually sold. I like watching eBay what sold videos. That's why in my Facebook group, again, I keep telling people, which has grown exponentially. I think I'm at like over 700 members right now, and I just started it this year. It just flew. It seemed like just yesterday I was at 500, and now I'm over 700. But anyway, that one I share. People share in that group what they've sold. You don't have to share. 700 people, and there's probably like 10 that share on a regular basis what sold. That's what I like to see. So when people are saying, oh, eBay is dead, Etsy is dead, Mercari, nobody buys on Mercari, nobody buys on Poshmark, nobody buys on Etsy. Did I already say Etsy? Like, people complain all the time that there's no sales, and I'm like, listen, this is what I am selling on eBay. This is what I am selling on Poshmark. This is what's selling on Etsy. This is what's selling on Mercari. This is what's selling on Depop. Those are the platforms I sell on. This is what's selling on Didbit, on the Didbit channels. Like I'll say, when I say Didbit, I mean on district within the Didbit family. So whether it's shirts, or I just started putting stuff in antiquities for the antique and vintage stuff. But I will say, overwhelmingly, people that put stuff on Didbit or that sell on the Didbit family of channels, it's the live selling that does the most. But that is also the least rate, the least rate of return. I won't edit that out. My little hiccup burp at the same time. It was a silent one at least. But those, and even I was listening to Commonwealth, but then I'm now in the middle of the Adirondack Mountains in New York heading home, and there's no signal here, so I said, might as well record a video since I can't watch any right now. Watch/listen, because I listen to them more than watch them. And Commonwealth was just talking about his sales. I don't think it was a video I watched today. It may have been on the way to Vermont on Friday. He was talking about his sales in that The majority of the sales that are done within his Didbit family are on the live shows. But then today on the videos, he did a video talking about reselling as a second income, as a side gig type of thing. And he said that if you're just starting out, he does not recommend live selling because your ROI on most of your things is not very good. Like, things will sell for a lot less than if you do static listings. And that is so true. That is so true. But for me, and he even said, even people that have been longtime sellers should really, think hard before they jump into live selling, because you don't sell things for as much money. Now, I will say, if you are going to sell on his Didbit channels,
in half of a mile, left turn onto Route 458.
Onto Route 458. Go to Google Maps and look at where is Route 458. That's where I'm turning from Route 30 to 458, heading towards a town called St. Regis Falls. But, okay, I put my directional on too soon. Too soon, Tamara. You're not turning that. I do that all the time right here. All right, so anyway, he was saying, all right, I would say that when you're selling on Didbit, on District, there is not a large amount of buyers. A lot of your buyers are sellers who are buying to resell your stuff on eBay. So you're not going to get high dollar because you're not getting a lot of bidders bidding to bid your items up. And I think over time that might change, but again, it's word of mouth that pretty much grows that channel, where Whatnot does advertisements outside of your specific store on Whatnot. Where in Didbit, it's people got to know to go to Didbit, right? In District, who hosts Didbit, does not do any advertising. So you got to do 100% bring the traffic to you. I have a channel called The Handmade Gathering. I don't think I've mentioned that yet on this channel. I'm sorry, I have an itchy, I don't know, it's a dry spot. I got some sun yesterday, but I keep itching here, and I'm like, I hope I don't look like I'm picking my nose. I'm not picking my nose, I swear, I'm just itching the side. I just was in the sun yesterday. Now I'm all itchy. Now, like, my head is itchy. Why is it I think about scratching something and it makes my whole body itch? All right, back to what I was saying. So I have a channel on, a marketplace on District called The Handmade Gathering. I have been hemming and hawing about starting one because I don't have a very large following. But I thought, wrongly, by the way, that if I create it, that when people go to District, as they start to hear more and more about District, so if you hear about Didbit and you're looking for something and you can't find it within the Didbit family, you can do a search at the top of Didbit, and it will actually search all of District, and maybe people would find, and I say wrongly, but there are some people that are finding my marketplace, and you got to join a marketplace to be able to like buy from it. It's just kind of weird, but you can find the marketplace, join the marketplace to be able to shop at it, and then if you want to sell at it, you can apply to sell. So what the Handmade Gathering is anything handmade, and it does not need to be handmade by you. So when I put it in my Facebook group, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't sell handmade, I don't make stuff. And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be made by you. If you buy a quilt, an Afghan, a piece of pottery, lately I've been doing a lot of embroidery and paint by numbers. If you do that, if you pick up just something else that somebody has handmade, then you can list it in the Handmade Gathering. It doesn't have to be new, it can be pre-owned, it can be vintage, antique, like just handmade. That's it, just needs to be handmade. So if you want to go to the Handmade Gathering, I will try and remember to put a link down below. Go and check it out. Join the marketplace. I'd love just people to join it. It doesn't cost anything to join. And then if you have something you want to sell, obviously the more sellers I get, the more products that are available, because right now I think I only have a handful of sellers, and a lot of the people who have applied and I have approved haven't put anything up for sale. So most of the stuff, I would say 98% of the things listed right now, are those birds, are items that are mine. So I'd love to grow that marketplace and grow that channel, and hopefully, we can start getting sellers there and getting buyers, right? So, but I think I have to have more people selling, putting stuff into the database to start drawing buyers to it. But anyway, so there's my district. But I've learned that it definitely takes, you got to do all the advertising. Where on Whatnot, with Whatnot doing advertising, it brings people in. So somebody might be drawn in from watching Harry Tornado, and because he's pretty big on there. And then next thing you know, there are, you go and you find another show to watch, and then you find another show. Or when Harry Tornado is done, Josh will send people to another show. So next thing you know, you're in another show and you're watching that one, and you're like, oh, I'm going to follow these people. This is pretty good. I like this show. And then so on and so on. Well, I feel from my research that I have done that you can absolutely make full income. I mean, Paul the Philly Flipper, he does full income, and he just put a post up on Facebook, I think, maybe, showing his 30-day total and how much he's made. So you can definitely do good money on selling live, but you don't start off making really good money. You got to build up your channel. You have to have a really good personality, which is honestly, I feel like my personality is good, but to keep the level of energy throughout a whole show, especially if there's not people there, it's tough. It is really tough. So I don't know how I'm going to do when I start up in August. I'm going to be starting back on Whatnot, and I keep saying it, so it's going to happen. I got a long trip coming up to the Upper Peninsula that I just kind of wanted to wait till that, and then I'm going to focus on Whatnot. I have been watching Whatnot. I have been doing buying stuff and to be able to sell on there, different theme shows, just kind of getting myself prepped to have the items, and buying backdrops, because I find that a lot of the shows that I enjoy watching is the shows that have a nice background. So I feel like if I do that, it's just gonna help me feel better about what I'm doing. So I'm kind of working on that. And I see things. So I watch obviously Corey Mannix, his shows. He goes out and sells on estates, and people get in there and they bid crazy on his items, and they go for more than eBay prices. Same with the House of Coop. Jen Down South. What's that girl? The Farmhouse Fryer. And then there's another one I've been watching. Oh my gosh, what is her name? Upcycled by Bree. That's the one Scott first told me about her. Scott is the bearded picker, who he's also on Whatnot. I think you can bring your followers to you, but at some point you need to expand beyond your followers to build, because that's, for me, I was watching Scott's shows for a while and bidding, but I don't want to sit on Whatnot every night, and so I don't want to be there every night bidding and buying stuff. So I did it when he first started to help support him and stuff, but now it's kind of he might be bringing really good stuff that I could use, but I don't want to sit on it at night. At nighttime, I usually cut off and don't work, because I do all my work during the day. So for me to sit and watch at night is not really something that I'm enjoying doing. That's usually my TV time, or Tony and I will go for a ride and look at deer, because we live in an area that is just flooded with wildlife. So we just enjoy that, just a break, and air-conditioned car in the summer when it's hot, get an ice cream or something like that. But so let me tell you, I went to my daughter's. So last weekend, Tony and I went camping, and we did we've been camping this summer based upon where there are townwide garage sales. And we went to one that we go to for the past, I think 3 or 4 years. We've gone to this town in New York, Cape Vincent, and we've done really well. And and we just really, really enjoy it. So this weekend, I went to Vermont. My daughter lives in Vermont, and my brother and his wife, Shannon Robinson, she is one of the moderators in my Facebook group. And I stayed at their place, and we went garage sailing yesterday. And oh my lord, look at all the stuff I got. Probably doesn't look like much, but the back is full. See, this is brand new in the box dinnerware. I don't know if you can see it, by the company called Gibson. Beautiful, beautiful pink and white pattern floral plates. The guy had one brand new in the box sealed for $10, and then he had a second box that was missing a couple pieces, but the box had been opened, and he wanted $5 for that one. And I bought this one, and he goes, "Do you want the second box?" And I said, "Oh, for free? For the $10? And he goes, "No, for $5." And I said, "Oh, no, thanks." I said, I'll stick with just this one. Because I just would prefer to sell this brand new in the sealed box, ship it off, and not have to worry about, piecemealing pieces. And he goes, I was walking away to my car, and he goes, "Oh, come back here and just take that box. Get it out of here." And it was later in the day, and I think, at that point, at the end of sales, people they don't want to pack it back up. And depending on how he got it or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it for free. So we grabbed it, and now I got that box too. So I will end up piecemealing some of it. I'll sell this box as a set, and then I'll sell those as like a set of 4 dinner plates and a set of 4 lunch plates. And I don't even think there's 4 of each. I don't even know what's missing, but oh my gosh, we did so good. So good. My daughter had a sale herself, so I helped her set that up. And the sales were supposed to start at 9, and people were already out and about at like a little after 8, hitting up the sales. So at 8:30, I said to her, "All right, let's go. We're all set up. Let's go hit the sales." And her boyfriend ran her sale for her, and we hit off and went, which I was so glad we did, because it does pay to be the first one at sales, because you can get some really good things. I would say that it was a little after 12, and we brought her back to her house, and because she had a baby shower to go to. And then my sister-in-law and I took off and hit some more sales, and we were just not finding anything. It was just really, everything had been really picked over. And every now and then I'd find, a quarter item, a knick-knacky thing that I could grab to resell. But overall, it's just, I wasn't walking out with boxes full. Where one garage sale, I walked out with 2 boxes full of a bunch of different stuff that I grabbed and put in the box. It was a church sale, and so I was able just to pay $40 for the 2 boxes. That was nice. But yeah, overall, afternoon, things just really died down. And even though there were still some sales, but what was even better, by 1 o'clock, most of the sales had closed and put their stuff at the end of the driveway. And so I was able to get some books, or especially a lot of times I'll pass over books, but if there's free books, and if I can get a bunch of books from the same author, even if it's not a whole set, but maybe you can buy 4 Vince Flynn books, then I would grab those 4 Vince Flynn, again, especially if they're free, bundle them together and get them listed, and I can sell them for cheap, but it doesn't cost much. Taking pictures of books is so simple. It's just front and back, and sometimes I'll take a picture of the copyright date, that page, so they can see if it's a first printing or not. So literally it's like 3 pictures, which I think something like that will become in handy. Kind of switching what I'm talking about here, going to the AI, something that was talked about recently in some videos that I've been seeing, is they've been talking about AI and the help of listing software. And I don't know if anybody has seen Josh Galt's channel. He is, I guess, a partner. I watched a video the other day, and it was really confusing because he didn't really talk about what it was about. He just he talked about the software, but I was like, what are you talking about? Like, there was never like a beginning. I even went back and watched the beginning again after, because I caught the live a little late, and I'm like, you never really talked about what you're talking about. So I'm a little confused what's going on. And so I've had to watch some other videos and other people talking about it to kind of catch up. But primarily what it is there's some software that's out And I think Tech and Sports has one also, or it's coming out with one, or announced it, or I don't know. Sounds like there's like, maybe he hurried up and announced his because Josh had announced theirs. But there might be some other ones. I think somebody at one point said 12 of them. But what it is, it's artificial intelligence software that let's say you sell DVDs. And when you sell a DVD, you take a picture of, we'll use the books. You take a picture of the front of the book, the back of the book, and maybe that's all you do, the front and back, right? But again, I still do the page that shows the thing. You know what else I do sometimes though, is I do take a picture of one of the pages inside so somebody can see how big the print is. Because as you get older, you don't always want the tiny print. You may not want the large print books that usually will say large print, but you don't want the little tiny print. You may want just that normal size print. So sometimes I'll take pictures of that too. But what you do is you have to have, this is from what I've understood, you have to have the same category. So let's say it's books. And then you have to have the same number of photos for everything you have. So let's say you bought 100 books, 100 CDs, 100 DVDs, like something all within the same category. And you take a picture of the item. You take your 3 pictures. So in this case, we're going to do four pictures for a book. We're going to do the front, the back, the info page. I don't even know what it's called. You know, that shows like the copyright and number of printings. And then we're going to do one interior book just so you can see the inside. And when I take my cover, when I take the picture of the back, sometimes I'll do it where it shows the spine too. So let's say we're going to do that. We're going to show the spine of that. So we got 4 pictures. You always have to have, in these listing software programs, the same number of photos for each item. So you would upload all the pictures and the system would say, okay, the first one, 4 pictures 5 through 8 go to this one, and so forth. And it does the listings for you. From what I understand, you have to put in the price and something else. I can't remember what the something else is. There's 2 criteria that you have to do. And I know the price was one of them. I cannot remember. Hold on, we gotta turn. This one always comes up so quick for me. So I guess that's per eBay's API rules, is that they don't want the systems to do all of your listing for you. There's got to be some human interaction part for it. And this part is that you have to put the price. And maybe it's you have to submit it. I don't know. Maybe it puts it into like a draft, or I don't know how these softwares work, but I do know that there was 2 criteria. But somebody was saying, some guy, and I haven't watched all of his videos, James, the boring reseller. I don't know what his new channel name is. I don't watch his channel, but he's been testing it, doing the beta testing for them. And from what I understand, like literally you can upload your photos and it does everything, and it's done in like I don't even know how fast, but from what I understand, pretty fast. People are saying like they're like, holy crap, like that's really fast. But the big thing is that you've got to group your items. So it has to be the same category of items. It has to be the exact same number of pictures. So you can't do 6 pictures for one book, right? Because maybe it's got a flaw, so you're going to take a picture of that flaw. Maybe the spine is a little, not for wear, or maybe you have, you're doing CDs and you have a box set and you wanted to show, it's a 4 series box set, and you wanted to show all 4 pictures, covers. That would be outside of your number of pictures, so it wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to do that within the system, from what I understand with how it works. I could be wrong, or it could over time develop so it will recognize something. maybe there's, what it would be nice is, let's say you took 6 pictures, and then there's like a graphic or a blank picture, right? So one of your pictures is a blank picture where there's nothing. Maybe you take a picture of a black screen or a white screen or a green screen or whatever, right? Or maybe there's some type of QR code you take a picture of, or I don't know what it would be. But let's say you took 4 pictures and then took a picture of that black screen, and then you took 6 pictures, then the black screen, and then 3 pictures in the black screen, and the system knew that break of that whatever screen that you're taking a picture of was the break where it went into the next product. That would be really cool. That's for me as an everything seller, that's what I would want, because there's so many things that I just don't, mine doesn't stay with the exact same number of photos for everything. Even if I was taking a picture of, all of the sugar and creamer sets I have, it's going to be different number of pictures. So, I guess you could always force the same number of pictures. So if you normally only take 4 photos, but something you're going to be doing 6 of, I would just force 2 more photos. I would just take 2 more inside book pictures or whatever. So, I don't know. It sounds kind of interesting, exciting. I don't mind listing, because usually when I'm listing, I'm binge watching some TV while I list. I'm binge listening to podcasts or YouTubes that I don't have to listen to or watch like this. You don't have to watch me. You can just listen to me. I'll put this on while I'm taking pictures, because I'm facing the screen or the desk that I take pictures on. So I like just listening to stuff behind me. So I usually will put on some of the reselling podcasts that, again, you don't have to really watch. You can just listen, and they're usually at least an hour or 2. And I take a batch of pictures, 3, 4, 5, 600 photos. And then I put the stuff away, and I take a picture of the bin it's going in when I put them away. And then I go upstairs and I will take pictures or not take pictures, but go upstairs and start listing. And while I'm listing, I'm usually binge watching. Like right now, I'm starting the last season of Handmaid's Tale, so I can catch up, because I don't think I ever saw last season. And so I can watch the new season. And I'll binge watch while I list. And most of the time, I will take pictures. I'll pack my orders, get to the post office by noon, come back, usually we'll grab some lunch, and then go downstairs, take pictures, and I'll probably take pictures for about 3 hours. Usually I stop between 3 and 4, and then I will come up and I will take pictures from 4 to 6, or not, I keep saying take pictures. I'll start listing from 4 to 6, and then usually around 6 I will go and do dinner, or at some point I'll take a break in between there and maybe throw something in the oven or whatever we're doing, and then eat dinner, and then I will continue. Usually by then I'm not binging anymore. So is it binging if you're only watching 2 hours of something? I don't know. But I will, Tony and I will usually watch something, unless he's deciding to work on coins, because he's been doing coin collecting and spending a lot of time in the dining room with his magnifier. What are they called? What is it called? Not a magnifier. Microscope. I got scope and magnifying, and I couldn't figure out microscope. He sits there and looks at everything underneath that and looks for, defects or whatever. So he's been doing that. And so sometimes I'll go back and just continue binging while I list. And then I'll list until like 9. And usually by then he's ready to stop. And then we'll go into the bedroom and we'll watch TV in there for an hour. And then usually by 10 o'clock I am sleeping. If not, by 9:25 I'm sleeping. So that's kind of how I'm at. That's why when Scott's doing whatnot shows at 8, sometimes it's hard for me. Or on Fridays he doesn't do them until 9, and I'm like, I can't stay awake. And if I'm going to watch a show, I'd like to watch the host show so I can keep with the discounted shipping on Whatnot. And it just doesn't work out for me in the evening. So I like the daytime shows. There are times I will throw on a Whatnot show while I'm listing. and I will kind of keep an eye on the Whatnot Show on my phone, and I listen on a computer on my laptop, so I'm usually sitting down on the couch doing that. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. And I just wanted to jump on and say hello to you guys again and throw up another video. This one's only going to be, I'm at 30 minutes, so I thought this is probably a good time to end, because I think my longer videos, honestly, most people, I keep their attention for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then most people don't even watch a quarter of my my videos. But those who stayed to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know I appreciate you. And a lot of you are already in my Facebook group, and you're very active members, and I really, really appreciate you guys. Like, I can't even thank you enough with how attentive you are. Suzanne, Anissa, Charlie, Chastity, and I know I'm going to forget somebody. Obviously, Shannon. Really appreciate you, and appreciate you guys being in the group and posting on a regular basis. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Oh my gosh, what's his name?
At the end of the road,
why am I just drawing a blank?
11B.
There is a gentleman in my group who sells men's clothing, and he posts about that stuff in vintage fishing lures lately. Andy, that's Andy. Thank you so much, Andy. I don't even know if you watch these videos, because I don't ever see you in my lives or anything. I think you're just in the Facebook group. But anyway, I appreciate you doing that.
Left turn
and
at the end
all
of the
that.
road.
So thank you so much for those who watch and are in the Facebook group. But even if you're just watching the video. Okay, I'm going to turn onto my main road. I will see you guys later. Bye.